Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Hot Girls Eat Carbs. I'm your host, Brittany McChrystal, and this isn't just another health podcast. This is your cozy corner of the internet, a place where we talk about real wellness, deep self-love, and building the kind of healthy lifestyle that actually works in the real world. We keep it real here. We talk about the highs, the lows, and the messy middle, because this journey isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up, feeling good, and finding a version of healthy that actually feels like you. And if this podcast has ever made you feel seen, inspired, or even just a little more at peace in your journey, it would mean the world if you gave the show a review or shared it with a friend. Your support helps more women find the space just like I needed it when I was going through my weight loss journey. Now, today we're talking about a topic I know so many of us have struggled with. We are talking about restriction today and why it never leads to long-term results and how it nearly destroyed my relationship with food. And I had to learn this the hard way. And when I say hard, I mean the kind of lesson that breaks you before it builds you. Being perfect with your food doesn't make you healthy. It actually makes you obsessed. And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm actually saying it from experience. There was a time where I was the poster girl for discipline. I cut carbs, I skipped meals, I weighed out my spinach leaves. I turned down dinner invites, skipped holidays, and I would have rather cried in my room than eat something that wasn't logged perfectly in MyFitnessPal. Yeah, I know. And people praised me for it. They called me dedicated. They told me that I had willpower. And they looked at me like I had it all together. But on the inside, I was spiraling. I had so much anxiety around food. I didn't trust myself to eat without tracking. I was scared of hunger, but I was terrified of fullness. And eventually, it led me into a full-blown eating disorder. I didn't just lose weight, I actually lost myself in the process as well. And I'll never forget the moment it all came crashing down. I had been on a super strict plan for months. Minimal calories, no treats, no flexibility, just tunnel vision. And then one day my coach at the time gave me a diet break and bumped my calories back up to 1800, which by the way is still not even that high, but for me it felt like a feast. And my body didn't know how to handle it. And I had been starving for so long that the second I had a little taste of something off plan, I unraveled. I remember going into the supermarket that night and I felt like something had snapped in me. It was like this fog. I had brought everything: a full bag of chips, a block of chocolate, ice cream, lollies, dinner, more snacks, more sugar. I took it all home and I ate until I physically couldn't anymore. And not once in that time did I actually feel satisfied. I wasn't eating for hunger. I was actually eating for freedom, for release, for every moment I had told myself no for months. And the scariest part is the guilt didn't stop me. I cried the whole time. I felt sick. I felt broken, but I just couldn't stop. I was honestly so low. But that was the moment I realized this wasn't actually discipline. This was damage. And I wasn't being healthy. I was punishing myself. And the thing I feared the most, losing control, had become my reality because I had spent so long trying to be perfect. And then the next day, of course, I punished myself. I didn't eat. I dragged myself to the gym. I forced myself on the Stairmaster for an hour and a half, trying to burn off the damage I did the night before. But the real damage, it wasn't actually the food. It was the shame, the fear, the belief that I had failed because I let myself feel free for one moment. And I wish I could say that that was the last time that I felt this way. But unfortunately, it wasn't. Because healing doesn't happen in one big breakthrough. It happens in all the little uncomfortable moments that come after that. I had to unlearn so much. I had to stop measuring my worth by how clean I ate or how long I spent in the gym. I had to stop calling food good and bad. And I had to stop saying no to life and to say yes to control. And slowly but surely I did. I started with small acts of kindness towards myself, letting myself eat a fair food without overcompensating after, taking a rest day without guilt, eating dinner out without logging every single bite, and looking at food as nourishment and enjoyment, not a moral test I had to pass. And honestly, one of the biggest things that helped me was adopting the 80/20 mindset. 80% of the time, I would nourish my body with meals that supported my goals, high protein, colorful plates, meals that made me feel good. And 20% of the time, I would nourish my soul. That's a date night pasta, hot chips at the beach, birthday cake, a spontaneous gelato, the lazy dinner after a long day. It gave me room to breathe, room to be human, room to enjoy food again, not fear it. And the most surprising part, I didn't lose progress. In fact, I saw better results because I wasn't constantly starting over. I was finally consistent, not perfect, just consistent. And that's what changes everything. And here's the truth that most wellness spaces won't tell you, especially the ones publishing meal plans with 5 ingredients or selling you skinny teas on TikTok. Restriction doesn't make you stronger, it makes you scared. And that fear starts slowly. At first, it feels like control, like you're being good, like you've finally cracked the code. But over time, it morphs into something heavier, something obsessive. You stop trusting yourself around food. You get nervous in situations you can't control. Holidays, restaurants, dinner at your mum's. You start scanning menus before you even arrive. You turn down invites. You pack your own food in plastic containers. You spend more time thinking about food than actually enjoying it. And you get praised for your discipline, but no one sees the panic that happens when you go off plan. And the worst part, you start believing that you are the problem, not the restriction. You eat something bad and feel guilty. You spiral. You restrict harder the next day, thinking that it'll fix it. But it only fuels the cycle. Restrict, crave, binge, guilt, and repeat. It creates this black and white mindset whether you're either on track or off track. You're either being good or you've ruined everything. And the second that you mess up, even a little, you feel like you have to start over from zero. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. That middle ground that you've been avoiding, that's actually where the magic happens. That in-between space, that one that feels too relaxed or not disciplined enough, that's where real life happens. That's where your results become sustainable. And that's where you stop fighting your body and start working with it. It's the place where you can have a nourishing breakfast, move your body in a way that feels good, eat chocolate after dinner, go for drinks with your friends, and still make progress. It's that place where you wake up excited for your meals, where you feel energized, not deprived, where you can say yes to life and say yes to your goals. Because the real goal isn't just to lose weight, it's to feel good in your skin while living the life you love. It's to stop starting over every Monday. It's to have peace with your body, your food, and with yourself. And how I healed was slow, and honestly, it was scary. But when you've spent so long believing that control equals safety, letting go feels like a risk. It feels like if I stop tracking every bite, if I eat that dessert, if I don't burn exactly 500 calories at the gym, then everything will fall apart. But I knew I had to stop living in fear. I was exhausted. I was done with the guilt. And so I started with the smallest steps. And I mean tiny small. I let myself eat the foods that I had labeled as bad, slowly, one by one. A slice of bread with my eggs, a square of chocolate after lunch. And I sat with that discomfort and I let the anxiety come up. But I didn't run from it. I reminded myself, nothing terrible is happening. You're okay. I stopped punishing myself for going out for dinner. I started ordering what I actually wanted and not what was the lowest calories. I gave myself permission to enjoy food again, to experience it, not just track it. I stopped logging everything. I stopped obsessing over macros. I let go of the scale for a while. And instead, I started listening to my body. Like really listening. Am I hungry? Am I full? Am I satisfied? Am I craving connection more than food right now? And guess what? The world didn't end. I didn't spiral. I didn't gain all the weight back. I didn't lose progress. I just stopped losing myself in the process. What I did lose was the fear. I lost the guilt. I lost the voice in my head that told me food was the enemy. And what I gained? Freedom, flexibility, peace. The ability to go out for a spontaneous brunch, to eat cake at a friend's birthday, to travel without panic, and to move my body in a way that felt good, not as a punishment, but as care. And do you know what's wild? I still saw results, but this time they didn't come from restriction. They came from consistency because I could finally stick to something long term. I could finally enjoy the process instead of surviving it. Food no longer controlled me. I got my life back. And this is the kind of transformation no perfect plan can give you. The thing that really did help me find balance for real was the 80-20 rule, which is what I touched on before. And it's not a diet and it's not a rigid plan. It's just a mindset shift. So, how you do it is 80% of the time, I ate meals that supported my goals, high in protein, balanced, nourishing. 20% of the time, I ate foods that supported my soul, the wine with the girlfriends, the croissant on a slow morning, the birthday cake, the comfort meals, the fun stuff. That 20% is what makes the other 80% sustainable. It's what stops you from feeling like you're missing out and what makes this a lifestyle, not a chore. If you've been stuck in the all or nothing mindset, I see you because I was you. I know what it's like to feel like you're either winning or failing. Like if you're not doing everything perfectly, then you're doing it wrong. One missed workout, one off day means that you're back at square one. But I need you to hear this. You don't need more rules, and you don't need to start over. You don't need to restrict harder or hustle or shrink yourself into feeling worthy. You just need permission. Permission to live in the grey, to be a little messy, a little soft, a little human, to wake up one day craving pancakes and eat them without spiraling, to skip the gym because you're tired and not make it mean anything about your worth. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to keep going. Take the pressure off yourself. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the idea that you have to earn your rest, your food, and your joy. Because perfection isn't the goal, peace is. Peace with food, peace with movement, peace with your mind. And you're not doing it wrong because you had a donut. And you're not falling behind because you missed a workout. And you're not lazy because you needed a slow morning. You're just learning, growing, and figuring it out in your own way and in your own time. And babe, that is more than enough. You are enough, even on the days where you don't feel like it, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. I will never forget the version of me who thought she had to suffer to see results, and that the only way to be good enough was to shrink herself, control everything, and never mess up. And I'll never stop showing up for the women who are still here, because I know how heavy that mindset is. And I know how lonely it feels when you're doing everything right and still feeling stuck, and still feeling lost, and still feeling exhausted. And if that's you right now, I want you to know there is a better way, and I can help you get there. Inside my one-on-one coaching, we don't chase perfection. We build a lifestyle that actually works for your body, your schedule, and your sanity. We fuel you with foods you love, create routines that you enjoy, and help you feel good in your skin without guilt, without extremes, and without cutting out carbs. We heal the all or nothing mindset. We ditch the fear of food. We build something steady, strong, and sustainable. And most importantly, we do it together because you don't have to figure this out alone. You just have to take the first step. So if this episode hit home and you're ready to finally step out of the restriction cycle and into a way of living that actually feels like freedom, then tap the link in the show notes to apply for my coaching. And before you go, if this episode resonated with you and it made you feel a little less alone or gave you a new perspective, please take the second to like, share, or leave a quick rating for the podcast. It helps more women find this safe space and reminds the algorithm that Hot Girls Eat Carbs is worth listening to. And if we're not already connected, come and say hi on Instagram. I'm always sharing real-time tips, behind-the-scene movements, meal ideas, client wins, and pep talks to help you keep going. You can find me at Brittany McChrystal. My DMs are always open, and I will see you in the next episode.